BMW 3 Series has long ruled the mid-sized executive segment, and the company's hopes are high for this improved version of the G20 7th generation design. It's smarter and gets a much more sophisticated cabin with a big step forward in media connectivity, plus smarter looks and extra equipment. All the things you'd expect from a facelift, really. Something else you'd expect from this model is rear-wheel drive handling purity. It doesn't disappoint in that regard either.
If your experience of this G20 3 Series design dates from its earliest launch, you might not be up to speed with the addition of BMW's 48-volt mild hybrid tech to the diesel engines and the most accessible 6-cylinder petrol unit, both changes made just before this facelift. What has been improved as part of this update is the 8-speed Steptronic Sport Auto gearbox, and not only because it's now fitted with a much smaller selector toggle rather than the previous more conventional stick. This transmission now comes with a clever paddle shift activated sprint function which gives you extra boost for quick overtakes. As before, launch control for rapid standing start is built into the software too. Otherwise, all the engineering of this car has been left well alone. We're still the benchmark in our class, says Misha Bachmann, BMW's manager of drive dynamics, so why would we need to change anything? Why indeed? The base formula here is so fundamentally right. Front engine, rear-wheel drive and near-perfect 50-50 weight distribution have defined the 3 Series to date, and this one doesn't deviate too far from that script, although BMW has, of late, almost completely standardised fitment of its xDrive all-wheel drive system on the higher-powered versions. But it's in standard rear-driven guise that this car really seems to shine in comparison to its mid-sized executive segment rivals. Super effective traction and stability systems keep those back wheels in check, so that if you're not a committed driving enthusiast, you probably wouldn't know which end of the car drive was coming from. But if you are, then the sensation of being pushed by the back wheels as you exit a bend never fails to offer up a great feeling of pleasure. 4-cylinder 2-litre engines from BMW's Efficient Dynamics family are used across the mainstream part of the power plant range, which kicks off for petrol people with the 184 horsepower 320i. The same unit additionally features in the 330e plug-in hybrid model we're trying here, which offers 292 horsepower, goes up to 39 miles between charges, and is also available in the xDrive all-wheel drive form we're testing today. The diesels all come with BMW's 48-volt mild hybrid tech, with nearly all black pump-fueled sales accounted for by the 190 horsepower 320d. A 6-cylinder diesel is still offered in the form of the 340 horsepower M340d xDrive model. That top M performance package also comes in 374 horsepower M340i petrol form, where it uses the same 3-litre straight-six power plant as features in the fire-breathing 510 horsepower M3 competition variant, available with or without xDrive. In the mainstream part of the range, efficiency is class-leading. A 320d capable of up to 58.9 mpg on the combined cycle and up to 127 grams per kilometre of CO2. But you'll want to know about those changes. With every model update, BMW seems to want to tinker with its famous kidney-shaped front grille, which here gains lightly modified contours and new double bars. Further down, the corner intakes have been aggressively redesigned, a change more obvious with the sleeker bumper fitted to M Sport variants like this one. These intakes no longer incorporate fog lights, those now built into the slimmer LED headlamp units, which feature daytime running lights in an inverted L shape. There are no changes worth talking about here at the side, where the 4,709mm length remains exactly the same regardless of your choice of saloon or touring, though that latter estate model does sit 5mm higher than the sedan. Here at the rear, the aesthetic changes with this updated model remain uber subtle, like the tiny change in exhaust system outlet diameter. The tailpipes now measure 90 or 100mm depending on engine variant, and are emphasised like gun barrels with surrounding dark mouldings. Let's take a seat up front, where for the first time in a 3 Series, you're guaranteed the feel of a proper luxury car, even in the lower echelons of the range, surrounded as you are by this updated model's twin-screen, chrome-garnished, expensively elegant cabin architecture. This freshly added BMW Live Cockpit Plus setup combines a 12.3-inch instrument display with a 14.9-inch centre screen and is the main change as part of this facelift. Beyond the eye-catching curved display media tech, you'll also quickly be struck by the sheer depth of quality on offer here. All the materials used, even those lower down, are great to look at and touch, with classy stitching, thin ambient lighting colour strips and smart metal finishing that feels rich and upmarket. In mainstream models, the seats are upholstered with this supple Sensortech stitched man-made leather, and they position you slightly lower than you would be in some rivals, another thing that helps in delivering this car's slightly sportier demeanour. Finding the ideal driving position is easy. The supportive seats are very comfortable, and standard features like a rear view camera and all-round sensors make town driving easier too. OK, time to take a seat in the rear. Inside, sure enough, there's comfortable space for a couple of adults, but thanks to its slightly longer wheelbase, a rival Mercedes C-Class edges this BMW for rear seat legroom, and a non-premium brand contender in this segment, say a Volkswagen Passat or a Skoda Superb, would be much more spacious. Finally, let's take a look out the back. The revealed trunk space on conventionally engined versions of this sedan is 480 litres, 25 litres more than you get from Mercedes C-Class. Predictably, with this 330e plug-in hybrid variant, that capacity figure takes a tumble to 375 litres. The conventionally engined touring estate versions serve up 500 litres, or 410 in 330e form. And in summary, well, over the years, the 3 Series has changed a lot about the way we buy cars in this class, continually forcing its rivals to play catch-up. This one's no different. As you were, people.